If you've been wanting to build your confidence and your social confidence, well, this is the episode for you.
Welcome to Thriving Launch with Louise Congdon and Kamala Chambers, the show for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want it all.
5 days a week, we bring you different segments to inspire you to live a life of freedom. We interview the leading experts in the field of business, health, and love. Be sure to check out Training Tuesdays, where we give you a clear action plan to grow your own business. Maybe you can relate to this. When I was a full-time coach, keep repeating the same things to people over and over and over again, and it got to be kind of draining, and I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing anymore. So what I decided to do was record the things that I had to tell clients over and over and over again, and then I packaged those recordings together and sold them as an online course. If you're interested in creating and selling your own online course, head over to thrivinglaunch.com, and I have a free training for you on how to create and make passive income through your own online course.
Today's guest is Myke Macapinlac. He's the program director of the Social Confidence Mastery, and his mission is to help shy guys become socially confident so they can create a lifestyle they deserve. Myke, are you ready to launch?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I know this is a topic that is going to be quite colorful today because Louise...
You make it sound like there's going to be bad language or something, but that's not where we're going.
No, I just mean that I know this is something you're really passionate about. Confidence is something that's that people know you for, Louise. And Myke, I know that you are the confidence man. So I would love to hear what your view of confidence even is.
Sure. Are you referring to confidence or social confidence?
Social confidence.
Yeah, let's do it. So at a young age, my dad told me that in life, it's not just what you know, but who you know. So that lesson was really instilled in my mind as a young kid. And I know for myself, every single opportunity that I've had throughout my journey, I've had many different transitions. I've changed jobs. I've moved to different countries, and every single time that I'm able to re-immerse in a new environment, it's because of my ability to connect with other people. So the topic of social confidence is really close to my heart because it's unfortunate because the majority of the education we get in school is academics like chemistry, physics, math. But in the real world, none of those things matter. It's really your ability to inspire, to lead, and engage people that's going to move you in, upper management if you're climbing a corporate ladder, get you a date if if you're single and you want to put yourself out there, and even build a brand new network if you're in a new city. So that's what it means to me.
That's a great answer. And confidence is such a vague thing. Like, I know that I went through this period where I was very shy, particularly around women. I used to feel very nervous around women, wanted to have dates, but it was an area that I really struggled in. And so I started trying to understand, how do you get good with women? How do you become good at socializing? What is it that these people have that I don't have? And you keep coming across this word, you just got to be more confident. You need to develop confidence. And that always felt like such a vague term. And in some ways it really is, because confidence is such a personal thing. Like, there's no, well, do this and do that and be this kind of person, you'll be more confident, because the way that I'm confident is different than maybe the way Kamala is or someone else is. But there's still some sort of thread between everybody on what we can do to build confidence or to gain confidence. What are your steps, or do you have some tips and tricks for us on how we can become more confident so that we're more comfortable going to job interviews, more comfortable talking to women or to men or in groups or to our family, whatever way that we need to kind of have more of that confidence? Are there things that we can do?
Totally. So I've kind of broken this down into my signature online program, which is the Social Confidence Blueprint. So after many, trial and error, and kind of like what I mentioned before our call, I've hosted a lot of virtual summits specifically to help shy guys improve their social confidence. I've really broken it down into 6 main components. So what I'm going to do is to break it down individually, and then we can go through them. Sorry, break it down as a whole, and then go through them step by step. Is that cool?
That sounds great.
Totally. So step number one is you have to change your mindset, because there's no tactics or strategies that'll work, for anyone long term if your head's not in the right place. So we start right there. Step number two is about developing your charisma. And I know for me back then, I thought charisma was something you're either born with or not, right? But fortunately, throughout my research, it is a learned behavior, and we're going to break that down on how to be more charismatic later on. Step three is about upgrading your style, because it doesn't matter how nice you are or how intelligent you are. If you don't present yourself in a way that attracts the attention of the right people, then it's not going to matter, because people can't see personality. People can't see your IQ or emotional intelligence, right? Step number four is about overcoming your social anxiety. So again, you got your head straight, you're charismatic, you're well dressed, but if you don't know how to put yourself out there and approach people, then again, none of the things you learn are going to matter. Step number five is about improving your conversation skills, and your ability to engage people really comes down to how you express yourself, not just through language, right? And stories and humor and stuff like that. And lastly, step number six is about designing your ideal lifestyle. So I'm a firm believer that mutual interest is the foundation of every great relationship, whether it's personal, romantic, or professional. And it's so easy to have a relationship with other people if you have a lot of things in common. So I'm a firm believer, tell all my clients this, pursue your passion, do more things that you enjoy, and you'll meet the right people along the way. Because, building relationship really is a process of elimination, not manipulation. That's why I love getting rejected, because very quickly I know that we're not a good match. So I can, save myself from wasting time and just move on and give myself the opportunity to find the right relationships for me.
Man, I love when people talk in bullet points. That's like my favorite thing.
You're exuding what Kamala considers confidence there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Those bullet points, Kamala goes, yeah, that's it, as a confident, organized person. I go, all right, let's flesh that out. I'm confused. It's all these bullet points. But no, one of the things that you said, you talked about social confidence. And I remember going through that process of trying to develop my confidence around people and thinking that I needed to kind of mold myself for other people. And that didn't really seem to work. And then I came across some stuff when I was reading, and there was this great book called Fire in the Belly. And one of the things that he talked about in that book was saying confidence is really exuded when you're living your purpose and you're being a passionate person and you're excited about life, and people will get excited because you're excited. And if you're living your purpose and you're really interested in what you've got going on, then you're an interesting person and people will be interested in you. And I thought, whoa, this whole time I thought I needed to be super interested in other people. If they didn't like me, there was something wrong with me, but maybe it's more because I'm not really liking myself and doing the things that I'm really lit up and passionate about.
Totally. No, I totally agree with that. There's actually a quote that I want to share with you guys. Let me just pull it up from my Instagram account. I really love this quote because it's so simple, but it's so powerful. So it's by Myke Macapinlac, and he says, "The flower doesn't dream of the bee. It blossoms and the bee comes."
That's exactly what I did for Kamala.
I think a lot of people, so to me, that's the reason why I love that quote, is because a lot of people are finding happiness and fulfillment outside of themselves. If I get the girl's phone number, then that means I'm a good person. Or if I, for single guys out there, if I go out there and I'm able to take a girl home from the bar, then I must be desirable. Or, for entrepreneurs, if my business finally, if I finally have a 6-figure launch, then I have a worthwhile business. When all of those things, they're outcomes, right? But the thing is, if you really focus on the process, of building yourself from the inside out, all aspects of your life will improve. Again, whether it's you're trying to make friends, improve your business relationships, look for a romantic partner. It really comes down to the relationship you have with yourself.
That's so true. So true. And I'm excited about diving into a little deeper into the points that you had just laid out for us.
Yeah, let's do it. So again, one of the things that I talk about in my program, a lot of guys come to me and they want Myke, what's the line? What's the strategy? What angle should I approach people or how should I stand? And I'm like, none of those things matter. because your mind and body are interconnected. And when you change one, the other would follow. And the thing is, people can read micro expressions from your face, in as little as like literally a few seconds, right? And if you're trying to micromanage your body language and your facial expressions, that's way too much work, and the thing is, if you want to exude confidence and positivity, it really comes down to how you see yourself. And there's not a better way that I know of to improve your self-image than a daily practice of gratitude. Like, if you focus on the things that are going well in your life, ironically, you'll find more of them. But the thing is, a lot of people that come to me, and I've had some very attractive guys come to me and they're like, Myke, I don't feel confident. And I'm like, I want to smack them in the face. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like, you're such a good looking dude. You're in great shape. But because they always compare themselves to other people, that's why they feel inadequate. Comparison really kills your personal fulfillment. So step number 1 is, again, change your mindset. And the quickest way that I know to do that is have a daily practice of gratitude. Starting today, just come up with 3 things you're thankful for. And in 30 days, I guarantee you'll have a completely different perspective about who you are as a person and the kind of life you're living. Does that make sense so far?
Oh, it does. It's such an important and powerful practice that I love to incorporate, and I think it's helpful in all areas of life, and prosperity and confidence and relationships and creating more connection with your partner, finding ways to be grateful and all of it. So I love it.
Awesome. So point number 2 is about improving your charisma, right? And, there's, again, we can talk for hours about charisma, but I think the quickest way that I know to become more charismatic is really make the person that you're with the most important person in the world at that given moment. And that means turning off your phone, give the person you're with your full undivided attention, and listening for the sake of understanding instead of responding. Because those are 2 different things. A lot of guys come to me and they're like, Myke, I don't know what to say. I'm running out of things to say. When really, sometimes the best response is just nothing. Just be there with that person. Give them the gift of your time. And again, turn off your phone and make that person that you're with at that moment the most important person in the world.
Turning off the phone, that's
exactly what I do all the time.
Well, I think he's being a little sarcastic, but one thing, Luis, is when I just want to say, like, from the perspective of a woman being approached by Luis, he was courting me and I was not on the market at all, but he was definitely the most confident and cocky man I have ever come in contact with. And he was certain that I wanted him, and I wanted him bad. and that level of confidence, like, suddenly I started believing that, wait, maybe I do want this guy. And it's worked. We're still together.
There you go. I love it. That's awesome. So can I move forward to step number 3?
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, step number 3 is about upgrading your style. So again, a lot of guys come to me, and I think one of the biggest mistakes that guys commit when it comes to dressing well is they think it's feminine, people shouldn't care about how I look, or it's what's on the inside that matters. And I'm like, man, that's all fine and good, but from a single guy's perspective, I'm pretty sure that every single girl you want to approach, you want to talk to them because you find them attractive, right? And then you find out if you have a good personality after. And from a business perspective, your style is basically your way of marketing yourself to the right people. It's kind of like, again, going back to the business perspective, like I checked out your website, and to me, it's very clear the type of audience you're trying to attract. So your style is really no different. You have to dress in a way that attracts the attention of the type of people that you want in your life. And that's my best advice right there. If you want to improve your style, it doesn't have to be complicated. Figure out who's already attracting the type of people you want in your life and observe what they're wearing. And all you got to do is emulate their style and then innovate later on, right? So nail down the fundamentals, the basics, and then the rest, make it your own. That's the quickest way you can upgrade your image.
Those are some really great tips. And I think that as a woman, I believe that I should know how to dress myself, and I don't. I do not know how to dress myself, and it affects how I feel about myself. And when I finally find something that works for me, it does absolutely change how I feel and how I move through the world. So I think those are some fantastic, really clear tips, and some that I will apply right away. So I'd love to hear step number 4.
All right, we get to go shopping.
That's the thing, is I hate shopping so much, but I think that what really helps me is to go with someone who can do most of the shopping for me.
Yeah, and just coming in with a plan, like if you're going to go shopping, again, doing a bit of research, figuring out who your style role models are, right? So say, for example, like you want to attract the same crowd as, let's just say, like maybe Marie Forleo or like Amy Porterfield, like do a bit of research, look at how she's presenting herself, and then find a way where you can incorporate the specific outfits that she's wearing and make it your own.
Yeah, I don't have an eye for that kind of thing at all, but what I could do is hire out. Maybe that's the big goal, is just hire someone to dress me.
There you go. Outsourcing. That's perfect.
All right, let's get into step number 4.
Step number 4. Okay, so I've been in the, as Luis kind of mentioned before the call, I think him and I share this experience where when we were both trying to improve our social skills, we both got into the whole like pickup industry, right? So it's funny because back in the day when I was younger, I'd spent hours and hours on YouTube, like watching all these pickup artists, like walk to girls, and next thing you know, they're making out and getting their phone number. And I'm like, oh my God, I should just be able to do that. And little did I know, I've been in this industry for a long time, that the majority of those videos are fake. I didn't know that, right? They were combining scripted stuff with, like I'm doing air quotes here, with real in-field videos. And so in my head, I had this really false and mismanaged expectations of my ability to just be able to put myself out there, whether it's...
What a great idea to make some of those, like for marketing purposes, to make some of those scripted videos. Kamala, I'm going to need you to make some videos where I like pick you up and I just like, I'm like the Mac. I'm the coolest guy you've ever met, and you swoon over me. The market will go wild. We'll sell boatloads. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate because the majority of guys who are watching these videos are being brainwashed, right? That, they believe that they should just be able to go to any nightclub, approach any girl, and with the right combination of words, right? And routines, that they should just be able to, get their phone number, get a makeout, or take them home. But that's not how it works, right? So it's kind of like, using a fitness, if we relate this to fitness, if a guy who's out of shape, you can't just make him, if it's his first day at the gym and, you give him like this ridiculous CrossFit style workout, yeah, he'll have a great workout, but the next day he's going to be so sore, and it's just not something sustainable. So when I work with clients in improving their social confidence, I use the exact same analogy, right? I say, right now, man, you're socially out of shape. And what we're going to do is build your social confidence slowly but surely, right? So just like going to the gym, if it's your first day at the gym, we're just going to walk in a treadmill, maybe do a few push-ups and some crunches. So, it was challenging, it was fun. And because you felt like you had a small win under your belt, you're a lot more likely to come back. And in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of throwing someone at the deep end of the pool and them trying to figure things out. Like fear is never a good motivator from my perspective. So what I like to do is give them small wins, because there's nothing more that builds confidence than seeing quick results. So my coaching program, especially with my online course, is set up that, guys can win every single day in a small way. Because the thing is, I can't make other people do something that they don't want to do. Real change happens when you want to do things for yourself. And there's nothing more that'll help them do that than building positive momentum. And so that's why step number 5 is overcoming your social anxiety slowly but surely, right? Which kind of ties into step number 6. The best way step number 5 and 6. Step number 5 is improving your conversation skills. And again, a lot of guys are so afraid of getting rejected, when my approach is totally different. I want you to get rejected, because you can always make more money, but you can't make more time, right? So when you lead with honesty, when you lead with passion in all your conversations, people know exactly what you're all about. And you're going to polarize them. They're either going to love you or they're going to hate you. And the analogy that I give my clients is, you want to be pistachio and not vanilla, right? So you want people to really, really like you or not. And that's okay. You don't want to be bland to everybody else.
Absolutely. And And I just want to point out that, you're putting in the context of pickup, but this also applies to business as well. And all of the things that you're saying apply to just how you move through the world with confidence in your business life and your success and all of it.
Totally. And lastly, step number 6 is designing your ideal lifestyle. Kind of like what I mentioned earlier, mutual interest is the foundation of every great relationship. And it's so much easier to meet people if you have a lot of things in common. So I really encourage my guys, there's no one size fits all to improving your social confidence. I may get a guy who hates loud environments, who hates going to bars and nightclubs. So I would not tell him to go to bars and nightclubs to work on your social skills. The first thing that I ask him is like, what do you love to do for fun? And let's find social gatherings and events, and let's put you in those environments where you're a lot more likely to win. And even if you don't meet anyone when you go out, at the very least, you had fun because you did something that mattered to you.
Really cool stuff. I love how you've just laid it out and made it very tangible and doable for everyone who's listening.
And I've also really appreciated how confidence, we've gone through this journey that confidence has these different elements, because I've gone through that process as well. Like, you change some of your clothes. You don't certainly have to, but it can help. Like Kamala was saying, and I definitely resonate with that, is clothing doesn't make me, but it definitely helps bring out aspects of me. And in different environments, it's nice to be dressed a certain way, or it can help bring out the confidence in me, or have other people see me in a certain way. And that's very important to me. And it's important when you're dealing with people in business, or if you're trying to get a date. All this stuff is very important. And then you've got the different elements of socializing, what you're wearing, and then you talked about creating your dream lifestyle. For me, you put that as step 6, but for me, that is like the most important piece, is having a clear vision of the life that you want and then going after that life.
Totally, absolutely. But the only thing is, I would have made it step 1, but at the end of the day, that's not sexy, right? And people don't want to hear that, even though that's the truth. So I made it step 6. So,
well, it's the gold. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
No, it is, and I think that as you go through that process, you are doing step number 6 anyways.
Exactly.
We've been here with Myke Macapinlac. It's been so fantastic to have you on the show, and we're going to make sure to connect you guys all with him and all the incredible resources that he has to offer. We've been talking about building your self-confidence and your social confidence. You've been listening to the Thriving Launch podcast. For books and resources related to today's episode, make sure to head over to thrivinglaunch.com. We'll see you there. Be sure to check out the next episode where Luis and I dive into how to make passive income.